Try to picture this. Atlanta's airport, which was once a humming scene, is strangely quiet today. Long ago, it was enough to just step inside for traffic-jammed security lines, the constant thrum of rolling luggage, and the din of conversations in scores of languages. Nowadays, the essential thrum has given way to the hollow echo of footfalls. The departure concourses that used to buzz with activity now look like abandoned movie sets. And the sad thing is, it's midsummer 2025, peak season traditionally. But this isn't just Atlanta's tale. Throughout the country, states that have lived on tourism are hitting a tough reality. Half-full hotels, amusement parks with nobody in line, and restaurants waiting for patrons who never arrive. It's hard to believe this is happening in the same country that has given us Las Vegas, the Grand Canyon, Hawaii, and Hollywood, the world's ultimate fantasy lands. So, what happened? Why is America, the #1 magnet for global travelers, losing its shine? Is it outrageous travel costs? Tighter border controls? Something deeper, like tourists waking up to the fact that they could get better value and a warmer reception elsewhere? In this video, we're digging up 6 American states that have gone silent, tracing the real reasons behind their decline, the brave efforts of residents to defy, and why, quite surprisingly, emptiness itself may be America's new travel product. But before that, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe for more such information. Number 1. Nevada. When Nevada is mentioned, one vision comes to mind: Las Vegas. Neon lights, the incessant ringing of slot machines, and streets so packed you could barely catch your breath. For decades, this desert oasis best symbolized American energy and entertainment. But in 2025, that dream is quickly fading away. Within 6 months, almost 400,000 fewer tourists showed up than in the prior year, a staggering 11% drop, said the Las Vegas Convention and Tourism Authority. And in a city built on continuous crowds, that seemed like someone flipped off the casino lights. So why the fall off? It all comes down to one word: cost. Vegas was once all about affordable fun, a quick, cheap escape. Not anymore. Resort fees still go up. Parking fees are ubiquitous. And those legendary buffets? Now they are as pricey as a high-end dinner in New York. Travelers are doing math, and the same amount of money can buy them a luxury holiday in Cancun or Bali with no surprise fees. For residents, however, the impact is cruel. Small inns are seeing bookings off nearly 40%. Businesses are struggling just to remain open, but Nevada is not giving up. Hidden gems, ghost towns, cowboy poetry festivals, desert photography tours, and mining heritage activities are drawing quietly a new type of visitor. For other visitors, the void itself is the attraction, a rare chance to become lost in sweepingly empty landscapes. So here's the question for you. Would you go with a frenetic Vegas casino or a deserted desert town where every street is like your own? Number 2. Hawaii. To most of us, the word Hawaii conjures up the perfect vision of paradise. Cerulean seas crashing onto white sandy beaches, fragrant flower lays around your neck, and the soft strumming of a ukulele welcoming you as you arrive on the plane. But in 2025, the experience for some visitors is very different. Imagine coming to Honolulu, ready for your dream vacation, only to be rerouted for interrogation. Your phone? Confiscated? Your bags? Searched. In some cases, passengers have even been detained overnight. Sounds melodramatic? It did happen. One Australian tourist found herself in exactly the same situation this year, and it went viral on social media. Suddenly, paradise started to sound like a place where stress is knocking on the door. The impact has been merciless. Summer revenues at Waikiki hotels dropped by nearly 30%. Restaurants and shops that once flourished with the ranks of tourists are cutting back on hours. And let's be honest, when tourists can visit Bali, Phuket, or the Maldives, places with the same natural beauty, without chaotic entry screenings, it's no surprise that many are looking elsewhere. But Hawaii is not letting go. Instead, it's embracing something new: peace and authenticity. Ecotourism packages, coral reef conservation tours, and cultural festivals honoring the island's heritage are quietly coming back. Tourists seeking calm are visiting less touristed islands like Kauai or Molokai, far from the usual tourist haunts. And here's the surprise you'll find yourself wanting more of. Many residents appreciate this less frenetic Hawaii. Decades of combating over-tourism are finally having the islands breathe a sigh of relief. What's your take? Is Hawaii less magical without the crowds, or has it rediscovered its original character? Number 3. West Virginia. Just to speak the words. West Virginia conjures images of rolling Appalachian ridges, crisp mountain air, and the distant sound of banjos echoing through valleys. For generations, towns like Snowshoe and Harper's Ferry were filled with hikers, skiers, and tourists seeking the untamed freedom of America's wilderness. But now, when you visit, you might hear something strange, the echo of emptiness. Since the last 15 years, over 30% of West Virginia's tourism business has vanished. Once thriving mining towns have but a few open shops. Ski resorts that were crowded in winter are cutting staff and shortening seasons. Why? They're a no-brainer. The coal industry, once the lifeblood of the state's economy, has collapsed, pulling along with it businesses that had depended on it. Add to that unfinished highways and limited access to the big draws, and lots of travelers simply circumvent West Virginia altogether for places that are easier to get to. But this is the catch. Its beauty still exists. During the fall, the entire state explodes in fiery reds, oranges, and golds, rivaling New England's infamous fall foliage. Bluegrass music continues to draw die-hard aficionados. Summersville Lake offers crystal-clear waters for boating and fishing. And now, West Virginia is betting its future on nostalgia, reviving scenic rail routes that take travelers far into the mountains. So here's the question. Is West Virginia truly deserted? Or has it become a hidden sanctuary, a place where silence is the ultimate luxury? Number 4. Arizona. For many travelers, standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, a view so vast and dramatic it takes your breath away. Those endless cliffs, painted red by the desert sun, have long made Arizona one of America's crown jewels of tourism. But in 2025, something out of the ordinary is happening. The trails are bare. Buses that previously operated shoulder to shoulder with people now leave half empty. Parking lots, rows of vacant vehicles. Recent figures reveal a dramatic drop. Group tours from Europe are down by nearly 1/3. What's behind this decline? A new visa integrity fee of $250 per visitor. At first glance, that might not sound huge, but for a family of 4, that's $1,000 before the trip even begins. Suddenly, many travelers think, why not spend that money on a week in Italy or Greece instead? For countless international visitors, Arizona has simply become too expensive, and local businesses are paying the price. Restaurants near the canyon that once buzzed with customers now operate on reduced hours. One tour guide, with 2 decades in the industry, admitted this was the first year he had to take a second job to make ends meet. Despite this, there are riches that few destinations on Earth can match. Monument valleys, cinematic landscapes, stargazing in light pollution-free skies, and cultural heritage walks led by native communities. For those willing to see past the rising costs, the rewards are titanic. Silence, majesty, and beauty on a scale that few destinations can match. So here's an angle. If even the Grand Canyon can ditch the tourists, what does that portend for the future of American tourism? Number 5. New Mexico. The name New Mexico rings with a mythic quality. Santa Fe and Taos were havens for photographers, artists, and rovers seeking culture and empty horizon for generations. Route 66 had a steady stream of travelers passing through its desert towns in its heyday, refilling diners, motels, and the roadside craft vendors. But by 2025, that energy is gone. Foreign tourists are more than 25% lower in just 5 years. Most of those erstwhile busy Route 66 towns now lie in forlorn quietude, their neon signs blinking over nearly empty streets. For locals, life is like being trapped in an old photograph. Beautiful, but eerily static. Why the slump? Blame overshadowing by glitzy neighbors like Arizona and Texas, states with bigger budgets and ear-splitting advertising. Others point to safety concerns in certain city centers, or the simple reality that New Mexico's wide spaces may be discouraging. Not everybody wishes to drive for hours on open desert to see a tiny cultural attraction. And yet, What New Mexico offers is irreplaceable. The ancient Pueblo ruins whisper stories thousands of years old. Carlsbad caverns stretch beneath the earth like a hidden cathedral. And each autumn, the skies over Albuquerque erupt with color during the world's largest hot air balloon festival, a sight you'll never forget. Now, the state is fighting back, repositioning itself as a destination for true adventurers, people who crave authenticity, not crowds. So, here's the question. Would you drive that long, deserted road into the desert, not to tourist destinations, but to something authentic? Number 6. Michigan. Michigan was once the crown jewel of American recreation and commerce. Detroit was the Motor City, the power center of the world. Each summer, families poured onto the glittering shores of Lakes Michigan, Huron, and Superior, to sail, to swim, to dance through sun-kissed summer days with no end. But fast forward to 2025, and the picture looks very different. Walk through many lakeside towns today, and you'll notice the quiet. Over the past 2 decades, visitor numbers outside big names like Traverse City or Mackinac Island have plunged by more than 30%. Resorts that once thrived in summer now close their doors early. Restaurants in small towns operate just a few days a week. Why? The reasons are many. The failure of the auto industry shook local economies to their foundations. Harsh winters make off-season tourism a tough sell. And with travelers looking for all-inclusive beach resorts elsewhere, Michigan's charm gets lost in the shuffle. For the locals, the change is extremely personal. Take the woman who peddles pies on the street corner outside Springfield. She used to sell out every weekend. Now, half of her pies return home, unsold. These aren't statistics. They're stories of communities struggling to survive. But Michigan still radiates beauty. In fall, golden leaves ignite the Lake Superior woods. Cherry festivals, microbreweries, and old lighthouses offer genuine experiences that a mega resort can't offer. And the state is changing, accepting 4-season tourism with skiing, ice fishing, cozy log cabin retreats. So maybe Michigan isn't vanishing, it's revitalizing. The question is, would you trade the chaos of jammed resorts for a lakeshore sunset, accompanied only by the waves crashing? The big picture American tourism is changing. The tourists are fewer, but silence and genuineness are more. From the deserted ghost towns of Nevada to Michigan's peaceful lake shores, these states show us that emptiness doesn't always mean loss. It can be a different kind of treasure. So would you travel to these tranquil spots? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more like this.